Good evening, Guam. I'm Jess Lujan. Welcome to tonight's show. Interesting show tonight, exciting show tonight. I have two ladies who are members of the Laity Forward movement. This is a movement that was started after some issues going on in the Catholic Church. As a result, I guess some could say thank you to the Archbishop because he started this movement. But I have the ladies. I have Terry Antalang and May Ada, who are again members of Laity Forward movement. The genesis of Laity Forward movement, because I understand that you guys are a part of CCOG. You are the silent protesters part of the CCOG, right?
Correct.
Okay. So again, the genesis.
We've always been moving forward, but we just never documented it as such. So when our secretary organized our song and prayer booklets, we labeled it Laity Forward Movement.
And laity, of course, are parishioners of are worshipers,
yes,
basically.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Now, my understanding again, if correct me any time that I'm mistaken in this, but one of the things, basically, there's some of the things that you want accountability for. You want the Archbishop to answer for. Is basically the removal from the Church of Dedo, of course, Father Paul Guffigan, and of course the situation and the removal, of course, of Monsignor James Beneventi again from the Cathedral Basilica. And again, what the Archbishop had accused them of, you want them to be restored and to be expunged from what they were accused of. The other thing is, of course, the property in Jonia that once belonged to the Archdiocese of Agana, which no longer belongs to the Archdiocese of Agana, but belongs to RMS, basically, and a government deed shows that. A former legal counsel for the Archbishop had advised against doing what he did, and also his former finance counsel had advised against again the deeding over of this property or the quick deed to the RMS. And again, also, if I'm not mistaken, there is how can I label a religion within the Catholic Church that's trying to move in to take over Catholicism as we know it, I guess, and they call themselves neo-catechumenal way. Please educate us on that.
Yes. As far as we're concerned, it is a cult. It's very different from the ordinary Catholic faithful, and the idea is that there's a dichotomy in the church, very much seen out in public, and it's been causing a lot of unfriendliness amongst the families.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, as well, is that the RMS I guess the seminary up in Jonia. Now they're supposed to be again producing quality Catholic priests. Now, when I've talked to priests who have gone to other seminaries back in the mainland, I said that their schooling is very different than the schooling. This is kind of like a priest manufacturing mill, basically. I mean, I've known, I grew up in the church as well. I mean, I know folks that became priests, men that became priests. It almost like becoming a doctor. I mean, they, it's years before they're able to call themselves priests. Right. We don't have that situation here. 3-4 years, you're a priest, you become a pastor.
That's right. That's
Terry.
Right. Yeah, and we also feel that they're not properly vetted. We don't know whether they go through the psychological vetting that goes on with regular priests, regular seminarians as they go through the priesthood. We know that the RMS, because we have seen their charter, forms priests for the neo-catechumenal way. It doesn't say for the Catholic Church. And it's very different. It's basically a church within our church, but we really don't think that they are within our church.
I mean, you know, I've spoken to and again, I know a lot of this right now. I don't have the knowledge that you do in talking, because I saw the change as well in coming to church and the divide that it has to the church prior to me inquiring with CCOG and even you folks. I saw the divide that was happening. I thought it was just me. You know, I thought maybe I was kind of moving away from the faith or something. I said, man, I'm not in tune or something, you know. But I saw that the divide, and when I had the opportunity to sit down with some folks to talk about this and say, wait a minute, we went to the same church, going to the same church, but my belief, what I've been taught, and what they've been taught, have been teaching them, are a little different. I mean, one of the things that got me is that, you know, Jesus Christ was a sinner. I said, well, he wasn't. He was conceived without sin. And so you know better than I. Has this changed? Do we now, do the Catholic faith now believe that Jesus Christ was a sinner?
Well, for myself, I just found out about it, that some of these priests who are very much with the Neo group are teaching that. And as I said once, I think they're going on the basis of this kind of logic, that Jesus Christ became man. Man is a sinner, so therefore Jesus Christ is a sinner. I think that's their logic, but that was not our teaching. That's not in our faith.
Oh, we were. I mean, we were taught he was tempted by sin, but he was not a sinner.
That's right.
Yeah, he was conceived of a virgin. I know of no virgin births that has occurred since then, right? And so again, I mean, unless that has changed, the Catholic doctrine has changed. Nobody gave me the notice, so I'm asking you to give me the notice if you receive one. But I don't think we have one. Terry, again with this, the RMS, the seminary up there at Jonia. Now, all indications are, I mean, unless there's a government conspiracy with even the legal councils and all that, unless there's a conspiracy, the Archbishop is denying that what he didn't do what CCOG or what these official papers claim he did. Now, wouldn't it be very easy? I mean, you ladies have been leading silent protests in front of the Basilica on Sundays, and would it be easy? I mean, for him to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, ladies, you got it wrong. Let me show you. Can we sit down with what documents you have and show you my documents? Let's all sit together as one Catholic faith and let's hash this out and make sure." I mean. It would be easy to solve. I mean, it could be solved tomorrow. It could be solved today. If the bishop wants to call or come in the show, we welcome him to do so. But it'd be very easy to do something like that. I mean, I know you guys been requesting an audience with him?
Exactly. That's our biggest problem, because as I said, a lot of these issues would have been resolved if he would only respect us. People have gone up there and they sign in, they wanted to see him. He'll say, yeah, I'll come back to you. He never did. He never did. And so that's our problem.
Well, I know. I mean, there's a counter. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's in Jungle Watch. A counter where there was I guess in one of the CCG or a meeting, I guess at that, when he was doing his rounds to the different parishes, when we was asked the question in regards to how their mass was conducted and how they were supposed to receive the body of Christ and all that, and sitting down and things of that nature. He said that it was something that was approved by the Vatican, I think, by the Pope, and he had said that we've got the document that says that we're allowed to do so, and there's a count that is going close to a year now. And I guess he hadn't found the document, you know. I mean, something like that. I mean, I would have it plastered on my wall, you know. I mean, I still have my first aid thing from first grade plastered on my wall. I'm very proud of that. But I mean, I would assume that he would plaster that and take it around and maybe wear it as a insignia or something like that to show how everybody's wrong. I mean, wouldn't you assume the same thing?
That's
Terry?
what we had.
Yeah.
He refuses to meet with various members of the laity who have asked to meet with him, just to put things on the table and get some straight answers from him. He either sends representatives or he tells people that he will set a date to meet with them, but they get ignored. He doesn't meet.
He's become quite a politician.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, but and so again, you're wanting to see again the Father Paul and what he was accused of doing, and Monsignor James of what he was accused of doing. You're wanting to see basically, and I know those two individuals as well. They want their time. I don't think they've had their audience with the bishop as well. I mean, if someone were to accuse me, I mean, even the most hideous crimes that were caused, I mean, they have their day in court. They have to by law. I mean, I assume at this point that a church, run by the laws of God will have the same thing that I have to listen to what you're saying. It's just not my side, and I can't listen to you. So especially if you're falsely accused and all documentation points to the fact that you were wrong. Yeah. And the Archbishop is human just like us. We make mistakes every day. And we will forgive him if he said he was wrong. I'm sure you would, right?
That's what we say.
Yeah.
We are very forgiving people. If only he would face us and respect us. Find out what our issues are.
So he's made no attempt to meet with you guys and all that and try to clear this up? Because like I said, I mean, if it's wrong, he's saying it's wrong. I mean, I'm at church at times and I read the Matuna and stuff, and he says this is not true. But when confronted by certain things, he'll get back to the answers. And yeah, if he's correct, please show us and sit down. Documentations are there. So what's the next move then? I mean, obviously, if he hasn't done it now, which is very easy to solve, if in fact he's got his documentations that trump all other documentations, what now? You guys are still going to continue your protests, right?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then what?
I think we'll continue until we get some resolution.
Yes.
Hopefully it will be him coming out and explaining things to us, showing us where we're wrong, if we indeed are wrong. But we are going to continue to let him know that we are unhappy with the church. We can't even say that the church is being run. It's almost on autopilot at this point. There really is no guidance. People continue to leave the church. It has been happening during his watch. People continue to join his neo-catechumenal way because they don't know any better. And people are just downright disillusioned, don't want to attend church, and that's not right. He's our shepherd.
Yeah.
It's his job to make sure that souls are not lost.
Correct me if I'm wrong. One of the priests also that was ordained as a priest out of the RMS, he was a pastor down south, I think Umatic, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't he a graduate or a priest that came out of the RMS that was later, again, found, I mean, I guess, having an outing at the beach in Agate or something like that? I think Father Louis Camacho, I think is, yeah, and was a pastor of the church and found with a woman in some sexual position. And so, and that's one of our priests, was a priest, pastor, head of the church down there. And so what happened? What happened with that? I mean, do you know? I mean,
we don't know. He's a presbyter. What comes out of that seminary are presbyters, not priests. They're half-baked priests, really, is what they are. They haven't gone, and that's why I was saying earlier that we don't know if they're vetted psychologically. We don't know, what other vetting has been done to assure that they really do have a vocation.
So back up a little bit. So from what I've known growing up, and I don't know when that changed, was that men that went to study for the priesthood, when they came out, they become priests. So men that study to be priests that come out of the RMS they're presbyters?
That's correct.
Yes.
Presbyters.
But
that a
then
different form of abuse?
this man was so young, in less than 4 years. It usually take about 8 years to really become a priest. His studies has to be full. So then they put him down there with the 2 parishes. Nobody, he didn't have somebody to guide him.
He definitely was down there, all
He
right.
was all by himself. And
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. I mean, I'm reading what's going on, and I'm saying, I was off island when I read this. I said, that's got to be a joke. I must have been reading a Comedy Central site or something like this, and this really it was it was whole our news organization covered it and all that. I said, hey, you really? What is happening? And you see everything that's going on here on island. I mean, it used to be a time where we just read these things. We saw this on TV. But everything that unfolds in different parts of the world, it's unfolding right in front of our eyes now at this point. And
we've become a soap opera.
yeah. Anyway, ladies, thank you. I know this was tough for you to come out and do this, but again, keep up with your work. Hopefully when you get some resolve to this and some answers, maybe you come back.
And Jess, we would like to say that there is going to be another demonstration this Sunday.
This Sunday,
10
okay.
o'clock in front of the cathedral.
In front of the cathedral? Okay, great. And where can they
We'll
get...
be there praying and singing.
Where can they get information? People want information about laity forward movement. How can they contact you?
They can call May or myself. My number is at 727-3577.
I'm 734-7777.
Okay.
And there are other numbers posted online.
Okay. Actually, I'll be talking to former Senator Kliski when he comes back too, because he's one of your members.
Yes.
he is.
He and his wife, right?
Yes.
Pay some bills. We'll be right back.